Okay, so this video is going to be how to pick a career after high school and a lifestyle. I think people have lots of different talents. I know that when I was getting out of high school, yeah, I wasn't good at everything. That's not the truth. I didn't have a lot of talents that were marketable, but I ended up gaining some and learning that I had a knack for certain things. Me personally, I'm more like a jack of all trades, master of none. Recently, I'm trying to master some. This being one of those things. So that's part of me doing this YouTube channel to help out other people and also to help myself. I think it's good sometimes to be able to do things and sit back and look at ourselves and how we did something and, review those thoughts. Anyway, how to pick a career after high school. The most important thing is to make sure that you focus on the lifestyle. You include that. You want to make sure that as an adult you have proper work-life balance. It's so key. You don't want to feel like you're missing out on anything. When people do that, then they go to desperate lengths, or they can fall into depression to feel like they are getting closer to where they feel they should be in comparison to their peers. You don't want to do that. You want to have the luxury of just being you. So what I did personally with my daughter is I asked her, I said, so where would you like to live? Because she's lived all over the world. She's lived in Germany, California. I was in the military, and she's been living with her mom and their military family. They've been all over the world. Oddly, she told me her favorite place was Orlando. So I said, okay, well, this is what we'll do. She's getting ready to graduate, and I want to make sure that I talk to her in a way that makes sense. Because there's so many times that people talk to you about things that are theoretical, and then when you go to actually apply them, it doesn't really make sense, or it's not the way that it seemed in the book. And then you get hit with all these surprises, surprise costs or surprise inconveniences. And life really shouldn't be that way. We should be practical in our approach to achieving our goals. And the instruction block should be practical too. So one thing that we did, and I try to make sure that I tell people all about, is Excel. Get the Excel app on your phone. It's super easy. So we got Excel, had her open it up, and then we went online and we did a little searching. I told her, I said, I want you to pick your dream house or apartment, whichever one. And so she picked out this nice apartment in downtown Orlando. It had the rent on the web page. You can go to apartments.com. We went to USAA, and we got a quote for car insurance after we went on Auto Trader and found her dream car. So now you know how much the dream car costs, you know how much your rent's going to be, so you know how much your car note's going to be. We called USAA, we got a price on how much the car insurance to support said car would be. I told her how much oil changes were and how often she'd have to get one. She should know how to do them because I've showed her, but if you don't and you don't like doing your own oil changes, then you can pay to get the oil changes. You can call a dealership and ask them how much they charge for an oil change. They're usually pretty cheap, not too bad. I just like to get my hands dirty sometimes, or I'm cheap. One or two, whichever you choose. Then I told her how much the utilities usually are, because they're different prices all over the United States. You can usually just ask your parents or look at a utility bill that's probably sitting in your kitchen cabinet or in a drawer, or wherever you guys keep yours at, to have a understand how much utility costs are. Here in Florida, for water, it can be anywhere from 35 to 50 bucks for an apartment. Now the electric bill be it'd be a little bit higher, but much cheaper than it is in some other places. Here, electric bill can run anywhere from $130 during the winter time to close to $200 during the summertime, because you always run the air conditioning. It's Florida, it's hot. One of my relatives, he lived out in California, and he was paying like $700 a month just for electric. I don't understand that. I think, maybe he had a mobile meth lab or something going on in there in that apartment. Hope not. um, but you want to take that type of approach. And then you also want to think about your education too, and the cost of your education, and the fact that you may have student loans. So you want to put that into your budget. You want to put food into your budget. If you have a special type of diet, you want to make sure that you add that as a line item, because maybe you're gluten free. So your gluten free food costs more than regular food. So your groceries would cost more than average single person's groceries. You need to take into account whether or not you want to have roommates. Make all of these things line items on your Excel spreadsheet. Just give each one a line: one for food, one for utilities, one for water, one for rent, one for car note, one for car insurance, one for student loans if you're going to have student loans. And then my favorite thing about Excel, you can start at the top, select, drag to the bottom, hit sum, and boom, it gives you your total. Once you got that total, then about how much your actual hardcore reoccurring bills are going to be. Now you also want to put money in there for entertainment, and in addition, money for vacations. How many vacations do you want to go on a year? Do you want to go on a few, short 3-day weekend vacations? Do you want to take a regular 2-week vacation? Or are you the type of person who wants to be a globetrotter and you want to see every place in the world that you've never been to, and you want to go there in style? And I'm talking 5-star restaurants. Or are you the type of person who wants to do everything on a budget? We went through all of that. We made those all line items. In addition to that, we talked about 401k and retirement savings. You want to definitely have an emergency fund. So you want to make sure you have at least 6 months worth of whatever your actual hardcore bills are, stuff that you can't put off. You have no choice but to pay, or they're going to come take your stuff on there as line items. And you want to have 6 months of that, just in case hard times hit. You have that to fall on, and you never let your savings dip below that. If you do that and you have your retirement set up, and you always want to make sure that you have enough savings that you can go out and do all of the things that you would like to do, that are personal goals, that are not something that has to do with your fixed bills, your fixed reoccurring bills. Know what type of lifestyle you want. If you live on the East Coast and your family's on the West Coast, you're a family person, but you have to be out there. You plan on being out there because you just living out there. You love living out there, but you want to be able to travel back home as much as possible. Make sure you put those things in there. And then after you get your total, then you're going to want to multiply that by 13. Because that's your total month's bills. And usually if you're on a 2-week pay cycle, there's 2 months in each year where you get paid 3 times. So that leaves you with 13. You multiply that out, and then boom, that gives you the actual cost for your dream lifestyle. And if that's your default, that's if you pick amongst the different careers, fields that you feel like, hey, I'm interested in this, and this will help you narrow it down. I feel like it's okay with not knowing exactly what you want to do yet, but things get so much easier when you know what you don't want, and you know what you are not willing to put up with. I mean, I feel like for me, when I was younger, I really didn't have any idea. Nobody sat down and talked to me about this. So I want to make sure that I give you guys the opportunity. So let's say you got 3 or 4 different careers that you're looking at. After you look at those 3 or 4, then you can go on Indeed.com. You can look and see what they're paying as a salary for that job. And the one that comes closest, or that hits that mark, or who definitely exceeds that mark, then that's the one that you want to go with first. I tell people, as far as your dreams go, you got 1, 2, 3, 4 dream jobs or talents that you would like to explore. Do all of them. Then you're really living. Just make sure that you're smart enough to do them in the correct sequence. Plan it out. It's a whole lot easier to take the job that makes $70,000 a year, even though you have interest in other careers that are, that may pay 70 or 30, or maybe, is more of a volunteer sort of thing that doesn't really provide you that much income, but does give you, a feeling of being fulfilled truly in your work. I think that everybody should do that. But at the same time, too, don't ignore the fact that you're gonna have real world bills and stuff to deal with. When you start off, when you want to get your first car, your car insurance is going to be very high because they tax younger drivers and they charge them a higher fee. If you like muscle cars, then your car insurance is going to be higher as well, in addition to your age, and it's going to be high for a while. I think it's higher for males than it is for females. When you move out and you get your first apartment, you're gonna have to pay a deposit when you go to get your utilities cut on, because you may not have a credit history. They're also gonna want a deposit. So all these things, like, they start to add up, and if no one's ever discussed these things with you, then you'll be ill prepared. So you want to make sure that you sit down and you have this conversation either with your parents or with someone who's an older mentor that can provide guidance, or maybe you can just take this video and you can run with it, and hopefully you can start to discover a few more things that will help you get closer to what it is that you want to do. They say that if you have a job that you love, you'll never work a day in your life. I think Confucius said that. I don't know how true that is, because I know plenty of people who have great jobs that they love, and when they get off of that job, they go and they work another. And that's good and it's fulfilling for a while, but also it can definitely get to where it's taxing. It's taxing on the body, working 2 or 3 jobs. I don't think anybody should, have to live that way. I think we should all, work smart, not hard. And that's it. That's all I have for now. I hope this video helped. If it did, leave a comment down in the like section. Boom. And I will definitely try to respond, and hopefully you guys can give me some ideas for the next video. Thank you.